liftoff. We have a liftoff.
What up, everybody? What up? What up? We are back again here on the Authentically You Podcast tonight. I'm so grateful to be here. I want to do something really quickly. If you wouldn't mind, I want to just go ahead, give me a second to clear my voice here. Let me clear my voice. I'm struggling with a cold tonight, just a little bit. But if y'all bear with me, we will have a phenomenal conversation. I'm excited. I am sharing as we speak. I don't know what's going on here with Facebook, but it's not allowing me to make it public. That's weird. All right, we're going to figure it out. But let's bring my guest on while we're figuring this out. Can y'all help me celebrate the one and only? He is a community activist. He's a coach. He is a leader. He is just amazing CEO and founder of Push for Greatness, the one and only, my brother from another mother. What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Man, listen, one day at a time, I'm trying to figure out why Facebook isn't allowing me to make it public.
Oh, man.
That's weird. Yeah. It's not allowing me to change it's not allowing me to change my audience.
Oh, that's not good.
Huh. Can you see it on Facebook?
No, I can't right now.
Because you're using your phone.
Yeah, I'm using my phone. So
Okay. That makes sense. I'm like, man, maybe I'm going crazy or something. But it's not allowing me to make it public. Let's see. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I think we will get it together
No doubt.
eventually, right? No doubt.
No doubt.
What's up, man? Let's do a check-in. How you feeling?
Man, I am 1 to 10. I'm about an 8, man. I'm feeling good right now, man. So, just in a good space. Mentally, I'm in a real good space right now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
What
man. No
what kind of
complaints.
what what kind of space you in, man?
Uh I'm in one place. I'm in a space where mentally I'm in a more healing space. Uh
We're gonna talk
finally
about that. That's good.
yeah, finally, being able to really, really heal and deal with some things personally, taking more time for myself and just celebrating, just things I've accomplished and, just celebrating
Mm,
life at the moment instead of just always looking at the next thing I need to do. So
mm,
I, I'm
mm.
I'm 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 enjoying life right now, man.
Man, listen, I love to hear that. I love to hear that. Like, talk to me about this healing journey. What is this like?
Man, I know that it's been everybody has it. They say it now on social media and internet and everything where healing and uh, mental health and everything like that, which I advocate for. I advocate to go. If you need to go see a therapist, please go talk to one. Um,
Mhm,
but for me, it started with just having that real conversation with myself, the man in the mirror.
mm,
Um, really having to address uh some things that I really just didn't like about myself at even at 42. There were
mm,
some things that I really didn't like about who I was, and it took it took a lot of time, and it took, I like to say, what correlated to uh getting my hand burnt on the stove for me to realize that I need to deal with
wow,
myself.
wow.
And
Talk, let's unpack that. Your
Mhm.
hand was burnt on the stove. What do you mean by that?
So you know how a coach would tell you, hey, if you continue to go this route, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
They need you to do, I need you to go this way or make this move to get open or make this move to get to the basket faster. We
yeah.
want to continue to do, and then we'll do things continue to be our way. So, hey,
Mhm,
you keep doing things your way, you keep getting the same results. So, in a sense, I kept doing certain things what I wanted to do. And it came to a point where God was like, all right, I'm gonna let you see what happens. And
mm,
it didn't work out. It was just like, you know what? I can't do this no more, man. And it's just like, um, I had to like look myself in the mirror and just like ask myself, like, yo, like what you you have all the right tools. You're a good guy, high character, you really care about the people, you care about the kids, you active everywhere you go, but you are but what about you?
mm,
And
mm.
then I asked myself a question. I was like, do I really like who I am right now? And I couldn't even answer that question.
Wow, wow.
So
What made you take a hard look at yourself?
uh man, one would be heartbreak.
Mm,
Heartbreak could do it to you.
mm,
Um and then just you get tired of just being in the same space. You want,
mm.
I was scared to just really like go all in and just better myself and be who God really called me to be. And I suffer
We
from
got it. We got to
I
dig
s-
into that. We got to dig into
yeah,
that. Yeah,
because
come on.
I suffer from people pleasing. I suffer from that real
Mm.
hard, where I wanted to make sure everybody else was good, and then I'm left empty and really nobody. I felt a lot of times where I felt like the people who I was pouring into never poured back into me.
Can we pause for a second? Let's
Yeah.
unpack this. Let's unpack this. So you are um you are going through a healing journey. How do you get to a point where you go, okay, I need to work on myself, and this is the reason why? What was transpiring in your life at that time?
Uh, I was getting out of a relationship, and
Hmm.
where it definitely I was definitely heartbroken. No ill will towards the lady, no nothing at all.
Yeah.
Um, then on top of that,
What made the relationship like a heartbreak?
man, I was
this
I
this
was
this is good conversation. It's gonna
yes,
help
yeah,
somebody.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
want you to share.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
definitely all in, and she was, and then she lost trust in me over a situation I won't share.
Okay.
But she lost trust, and then she decided to move on, and I felt as though we can work it out, but she chose, it was her choice to move on, and so um, it definitely left me at a hurt place.
Yeah.
Uh, and then as I was going through that, and then going through therapy, and it was between my therapist and prayer
Mm.
to
Tell me,
make
how
me
long
say,
have you had a therapist?
actively going on 4 years. Actively 4 years. I had a therapist for another reason in my relationship, but it was not because of
Wow.
her. So I had a therapist
Got you.
for another reason, and then the therapist just everything transpired. It just went towards is now with this her, and then dealing with other stuff on top of that. So
Yeah.
and
This is
it
a
was
great
at that,
conversation, by the way, because this is men's mental health, and I
yeah,
think this is very great to share because this is gonna help somebody who may find themselves in this place where, you know what, uh, like I was here as well, and
right.
this is how I dealt with it. Like, and what you're sharing already is like, yo, listen, you know, I think sometimes some people feel like your relationships are like even when the man is wrong, we
Mhm.
don't feel right.
Exactly.
And yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, even when you're wrong, you don't feel. But I think that's far from the truth because what people fail to forget is a bad decision doesn't make you a bad person.
Correct. And to go back to the part of where we don't feel is because that's what we've been taught by our people before us. So
Yes.
we've been taught this through life and through sports. And I always say sports
Mm,
because that's the first thing we know as um, a kid will fall, a kid get hurt, and the first thing a man will say is stop crying.
stop crying.
So now you're teaching this kid, this young person, this young boy how to suppress his emotions.
Yes.
So then when he gets older, this is all he knows. Hey, I deal with something, I can't cry about it, I can't worry about it, I can't dwell
Yep.
on it. I got to move
Yep.
on. And so
Yep.
when he gets into a serious relationship, which he feels like, oh, this is the girl, oh, this is her. I'm settling down. I'm cutting off all you females who I have dealt with. I'm done with y'all. And she says, what's wrong with you? Nothing.
Yep.
And all he's feeling inside is he's feeling rage, anger, sadness, frustration because he's dealing with the job, he's dealing with this, he's dealing with that. His mom getting on his nerves, his sister, his siblings getting on his nerves. Um, he's trying to get a business off the ground, school getting on his nerves. All this stuff is compounded, and then when you ask me, when I pose to feel in a safe space with you, and you ask me what's wrong, I don't have the strength and enough courage to tell you all this because you're gonna think I'm weak.
Yep. Yep.
And that is the problem that it's been plaguing us for so long because we've learned this, and now even in our and I would say even in 30s, 40s, even 50s and 60s, we're learning how to unlearn a lot of these bad habits that we've
Yep.
been taught by our elders growing up.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
on top of all that, everything with that, and then I just had a conversation. I just got, we just get man, I can't do this no more. I can't keep wallowing and sitting here and sulking. I got to move on. And
Yep.
my journey and the healing it's been a roller coaster. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, I had everything was great, and I've had peak uh, highs, and I had definitely had lows, and um, I sat there and. Even through all this, I still was coaching. I still was running a photography business. I still was running a mentoring program for young boys, and still having to be all these different entities for everybody else,
Wow.
being there for them. But then you're going home and I'm empty and I can't be there for myself.
Man, talk about this, man. Talk. Come on. Let's dive into this tonight, right?
Mhm.
I'm a little under the weather, but I want to have this conversation because I think it's a great conversation. As a man who serves the community, how many times have you felt like nobody was serving you while you were serving everybody else?
Oh, countless. It's countless times.
Like, but tell me, what made you feel that way? And the reason why I'm asking, because we have similar stories,
Mhm.
right? But I want people to hear it from your mouth and not me coaching you into the answer,
Right.
right?
So,
But
so
like,
for me,
talk to me about this. Yeah.
So for me, it was the validation. I saw the
Ooh,
validation from other people. So the
come on,
more,
man.
so the more I fed off, the more I received it. And Dwayne, the more I received that validation, it was like a drug. I needed
Yes,
to
sir.
have the validation all the time. The more you told me, yo, you a good coach, you doing a great job. Oh man, you
Yes.
really good with the kids, you're doing good in your
Yes.
mentoring program. Oh man, you're
Yes.
doing good in photography business. I love your photos. We need to book you. Da, da, da. It kept feeding me. So I'm like, okay, bet. Let me continue to do this. And so
Yes.
the minute I don't get it, now here comes the mental battle in my brain. This has
Yeah.
nothing to do with nobody else. This was a mental battle with me. Oh, you ain't
Yes.
you ain't good enough no more.
Yes.
Nobody talking about you now. Look, they talking about everybody else on social media. They talking about this person. They sharing their story. They sharing their pictures. They supporting their event. They ain't coming to support you. Oh,
Yes.
they coming to their game. You be like,
But here's the thing. Were some of those thoughts valid though? Some of those thoughts, do you believe that they were valid? Because me and you, we do similar things.
mm-hmm,
I don't want to discredit our observation,
mm-hmm,
right? Because some of the things that we see are true, right? Where people lend support to others, right?
mm-hmm.
Versus the people that are actually doing the work. But how did you overcome not allowing that to become a staple to like fester you so that you wouldn't like, you know what I mean?
um a cliche terminology, a cliche thing, and one of my love languages is words of affirmation. So I had to speak more life into myself. I had to really be that encouraging to myself. So I had to be like, yo, continue, yo, like, hey, this was a great job you did. You did this. Yo, good job there on this photo shoot. You did great on this session with the boys. And you don't look I'm not looking for them no more. When I leave anything, I leave a game, I leave a photo job, I leave a mentoring session, and I feel good about what happened. I'm at peace with it. I'm at peace in that moment for not worrying about what the crowd's going to say per se, what the crowd's going to say, because they're going to say something. And jokingly, they talked about Jesus.
I'm sorry, man. I was on mute. I had to take care.
Oh,
I
you
came
good?
down with a little cold, man. This thing is starting to kick
That's
my
that
butt
weather,
now.
that weather change, man.
Yes, no, that's these little kids that I work with. these these 4, 5, and 6-year-olds, they be
Oh yeah.
carrying that. Yes,
Oh
sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And they just be coughing and everything in the
And-
way. I was like,
Yep.
oh, hey.
Yep.
Um, but I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. But what I was saying was, I agree with you. How did you get to a point in your confidence where you was like, you know what? I'm not gonna allow what the outside world is doing to affect my journey and like the gifts and the passions and the call that God gave me to do? Like, how did you get to that point?
One through three people who particularly helped me in this.
Mm,
Two of them my best friends.
yes,
One is my uncle.
yes,
He is like the guy. I say this all the time to people. I say this to anybody that he is my definition of what a man's supposed to be. If you tell me,
wow,
what does a man look like, I tell you. I would tell anybody. My uncle Tony. That's who
yeah.
it is.
Shout out
Um,
to Uncle Tony.
yeah, and and it was just like, yo, dude, and it was one of them like harsh conversations with my uncle and my one of my best friends. Like, yo, like, why are you worried about them?
Yeah,
You really are good at what you do. You really,
yeah,
yo, like you can't worry about them no more. And even my other best friend who's a Pastor PJ, and he was just like the same way. He was like, look, you worried about them for what? Like
yeah,
God called you to do this stuff for a reason. He's not gonna fail you with this.
yeah.
And he asked me, he told me this one thing. PJ told me one time, he said, I'm gonna ask you this question. He said, you pour so much into everybody else around you. Who pours back into you?
Yeah,
And I couldn't answer it at any point. And so what I had to realize is in the healing journey was I said, you know what, I gotta start doing more stuff for myself.
yeah.
Let me go out to a restaurant and sit by myself and just chill out.
Mm,
Let me just so sit there and just don't
mm,
and not a care in the world. Hey, I'm gonna go sit here. You know what? Let me go, let me go sit down and watch a movie just don't worry about nothing. Let me go watch a movie
mm,
and not worry about no photo jobs and the forth. And so like my thing now is I used to work so much, Dwayne, where I be working to like, especially like a photo job or prepare for like a game or something. I'm working till like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning.
were you doing that to avoid like coming to grips with a few things?
Yes and no.
Okay,
Uh
talk to me about it.
yes, because I was like, this is all I know is the work ethic. Continue to work. And this is what everybody preaches. A lot of people preach on social media and speeches and stuff like that. You got to grind, grind, grind. It's like, okay, what about rest, rest, rest? And so I had to tell myself, like, look, you're working yourself into sickness. You're getting sick
Mm,
because I was getting sick at times because I would work myself to exhaustion. And then and I've done that twice this past basketball season. I got sick twice in like a month.
wow. How
I
did
was
that happen?
man, I was going. It was times where between basketball practice, basketball practices, and photography jobs, I literally was out. I literally was on the move every week, like literally like
Wow,
6 days a week. So like I
wow.
literally only have like Sunday to come and rest. And then some days it'd be Sundays. I would literally go to church and then leave church and then go straight to a game and then coach a game. And then by the time I get home, it's late. So I really don't have enough time in my body to recharge and rest.
Mm,
So
mm.
I
So,
had
so I
this,
want to hear this right. Rest was important for you to develop a sense of consistency.
yes, it had to be. It
Okay.
had rest for me, rest had to be I had to be consistent with rest. And when I say rest for me is it don't have to be um 7 8 hours of sleep. I mean, I still get like 6 7 hours of sleep, but when I say rest is okay, if I don't have nothing to do after work, okay, I'm not going to find something to do after work and then still be out working. No, I'm going home. If I ain't got nothing to do after work, no practice, no photo job, nothing like that, I'm going home. It's my night off.
Mm,
It's my night off.
yeah.
I worry about the rest of that stuff tomorrow, and that is where um and so that played a major part. And then uh going back to the speaking life into myself, that's been the major piece is I had to speak life into myself. And the one thing I had to really uh come to grips with that was is I said, we're talking about these type of things with my mentees, and I can't sit there and tell them this and not act on it myself.
Yes, sir.
So that
Yes,
is
sir.
where I had to learn, like, you know what? I gotta be an example for them because and I'm transparent with them, not to the all the time, but I'm to the point where there's nothing that they don't know. Like, um, they'll know, like, hey, look, yeah, your mentors. We have bad days. We have days where we just don't. It just not
Don't
working
feel
like
like
that.
it.
It
Yeah.
just don't. We just don't feel like having the day. It's like, look, I'd rather just do this another day. Um, but this journey, man, this road to 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 be at peace with myself and be real happy with who I am. It has been probably the most eye opening, the most vulnerable, and the most quiet I have probably
Wow.
been ever.
Let me ask this question. Let me ask this question. As you have gone on this healing journey,
Mhm.
what are three important lessons that you would say that you learned from this healing journey? Like you go through the relationship didn't work
Mhm.
out. You're navigating through self-esteem, right?
Mhm.
You're navigating through a couple other things. What are some important lessons that you learned from this moment?
Wow. One is that I matter.
Whew. Say that again.
I matter, and because
Mm,
there were times where my confidence was so low. I had very low self esteem, even as a man, even at as a man.
wow.
I suffered from having low self. I didn't believe in myself a lot. Only time I felt
Where do you think that came from? Like, where do you think that not believing in yourself came from?
ooh, being rejected a lot
Wow.
as a
Wow.
kid, feeling like I'm only good for people if I can do something for them.
Hold on. Hold on. We we can't rush over that. Say that again.
I
You
said,
felt like you were only good for people as long as you could
do something.
produce.
If I can
Yeah.
produce, if I can do something for you, I was good. So if I could, even and it's the small things, if I can make you laugh, if I can
Mm,
make you just feel like if
mm.
you were down, if I can make you feel better about yourself, I felt good. I that was like again that validation. That was my validation. I
But you know
helped you
what's
to
so
feel
funny?
better.
You know what's so funny though, bro? I think many of us as men sometimes we found ourselves in that boat
Yeah,
where if
yeah,
we could just do something, it
right.
spoke to the esteem of who we are.
Because
And I I view this very differently because I'm at the point now where, I want you to love me for me.
yes,
I want you
yes,
to respect me for me. And if that ain't your language, it's okay.
it's cool. I'm
I
cool
just
with it.
yeah,
I'm good with
yeah.
it.
I'm good. I just can't be in your space because at the moment when I don't do something that you need produce, guess what happens? I'm no longer good for you.
There you go. And I had to learn that. I had to learn that the hard way with
Phew.
with uh it wasn't it wasn't friends. It was actually
Wow.
some family members.
Oh, come on, man.
And
You know
and
it's it's often family members.
and I was just like, wow, like the only time, man, I get a phone call from so and so is when they want something from me. And it's just
When you producing,
like
when you
man, I
producing.
just
Mhm.
and so I get to the point where I'll just call somebody and be like, yo, I just called to say, man, I was thinking about that. Just call, say what's up. I don't want nothing, man. I just call, say how are you feeling? And I was on this other podcast recently, and I said, what we do in our program is we ask the kids, how are you feeling on a scale of 1 to 10?
Wow.
So we kind of when we start the session, we want to engage the room, like, hey, when you come in, how are you feeling?
Yeah,
And
that's
then
important.
we want to correlate a word to describe what you're feeling because now we want to say, okay, this is where you are. Let's work on that.
Man, you sound like you've been through therapy. So I've been in therapy now for 7 months.
It's yeah.
And one of the first things we start with is like it's the feeling wheel.
Oh,
Give me three feelings that you're feeling,
mhm.
right? and it could be from the week, the day, the month, or whatever. And oftentimes, my feeling wheel is up and down.
Right. It, like you say, because again, like you say, your feelings can change from day to day or minute to minute. It don't
I
matter.
mean, and let's be honest, depending upon what's going on in life, certain things make you feel certain ways. And so,
Yep.
man, when we do that feeling wheel, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I thought it was stupid. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I thought it
Right.
was dumb. I was like, this is some Bill Cosby, Cleve Huxtable.
Right. It's why are we doing the wheel? I don't want to do that,
What are we
man.
doing? What is this, man? This sounds like something we do with some kids, man. What
Yeah.
the heck is this? Right? But the reality of it is now I see why. And it pays off in the dividends of
Mhm.
coming to grips with some emotions, right?
Yeah.
Owning in on some of those vulnerable spots that you have to go back to the root of and grab and be like, that's where that come from.
Yep.
Oh,
So you mentioned the
that's
root.
yeah,
I feel like a lot of and I had to, like you say, I had to go to my root of my issues and
yeah,
begin to face those. And I had to
yeah.
literally sit there, and it was kind of like talking to myself, talking to my 10 to 12 or 15-year-old self, and
Mm,
having to really speak to that young boy and really say, you know what, it is okay. And that was
yes,
another
sir.
lesson I learned, and that is it's okay.
Yes,
It's
sir.
okay to feel the way you
Yes, sir.
feel. It's okay to, like, you don't have to be Superman.
Yes, sir. And you know what else? It's okay to feel it, but it's also okay to know that feelings aren't facts, right? And so we come to a point where, like, hey, I do feel this way, but once I catch up to my thoughts and I realize I got it, right?
Yeah.
This is what this is. I don't want to miss your third one because you gave us two, right? You told us that one was being okay with you,
Hmm.
right? Two was because we asked for three. Two was um, being okay with not always producing for other people, and
Hmm.
just being okay with just being who you were. What's number three? What's number three?
That I matter regardless.
Yes,
It's
yes,
because what happens is, and I'll share my this for me personally is uh social media, this
yeah.
wonderful phone that we have, that we get so
Oh
engulfed in.
yes. Oh
And you
yes, we
go
got a
through
lot of them.
and you go through and you'll scroll and you're scrolling for, just to kind of kill time. But then I scroll at certain points and I often compare myself to other people.
Mm,
And it's like, oh, this person's married now. This person's doing X, Y, Z. This person's over here. They got X, Y,
mm,
Z. They're showing da da da, and it's all great. And I'm always congratulating them. Hey, so proud of you. This and the fourth, great. But on the inside, I'm sitting there mentally like it's a comparison battle.
mm,
Well, why you what they got that, you don't got, you just got this, you got this car, they went and purchased it up, or they just went and got a house, and or they went on this trip to this place across the country, out the country, da da da, and you ain't been out the country yet. And it's just like, and I had to really sit there and be like, why am I even tripping? Like, yo, like,
huh, man.
they I don't know what it took for them to get there. I don't know what they had to do to even get to that point to where they are now. And
Talk, man.
I just and I'm and the thing is like, why am I secretly jealous of this person, and they had nothing to do, I have no beef with them.
But bro, you know what? I don't know if it's jealousy or if it is the thief of comparison, right?
The second one, this thief of
That
comparison, it's
that
it's a
that
beast. It's a beast.
yeah, that comparison monster,
Yep.
it will creep up on you because you will start to compare your age to their
Hmm.
age, your stuff to their stuff. what you do to what they do. And what people fail to realize is God has given everybody a path, right? Everybody won't be LeBron James,
Facts.
but can you steward what you do have well,
Thank you.
right? Everybody
And
won't be Michael Jordan. But I think we sold like the narrative of dreams, and I believe it. Like you can be what you want to be. You can do all of that, but reality sets in to the point where it's like, hey, this is where I'm at. I can work to greater, but I do not have to sit here and cry, moan, or whine about the realities of what I don't have. I can
yes.
go and work to get to have, but I don't have to like I don't have to cry, moan, and whine. I just have to produce
And it's the
at
way
my
you
level.
right. And the way you explain it is kind of how a friend of mine who I coached with for the last maybe 5, 6 years. He used to tell all our players this all the time. He used to tell them simply, your journey is your journey.
Yes,
And what happens is we're so caught up in, oh, so and so is over here at this team and they on this circuit
yes,
basketball, or they're
yes,
playing for this national ranked football team or this and the
yes,
full. It's everybody's not meant, they may not be, it might not be meant for you to be there. But like you just stated, can you steward with what you have in front of you and make it work? So you may
yes,
not have the 2 to 3 acre house and yard, but can you steward this apartment that you have right now?
yes,
Can you be
sir.
grateful what you have in front of you?
Yes,
And I
sir. Man,
had to
let me.
sit
Woof.
and I had to sit there, Ray Dwayne, and be like, yo, I'm I'm good. I'm good with what I have right now. Maybe it's not my time to get more or to go further and do certain stuff. Let me be
Yes,
and work
sir.
what I have. And with
Everything else will come.
it,
Everything
yeah,
else will come. Man, let
yeah,
me add something because we're gonna get out of here shortly. But let me add something to this. I did not always have the best of the best cars,
right.
right? We
Mhm.
consider the best cars like, Mercedes, BMWs, Lexus, um, things in the Nissan,
Right.
uh, Toyota,
Mhm.
uh, Honda family. And I didn't always have the best of best cars. My first car, I went up to Woodbridge, Virginia. You know where that is.
The auction. You went to the auction.
I went to the auction. I spent $700. I was
Okay.
like, I think I was like 19 years old,
Hmm.
right? Spent $700. I brought me a Ford Taurus, a 1993 gray black top Ford Taurus.
Hey man,
First of all, I was amped because it was mine and it was paid for.
there you go. It's yours. You like
it's,
that? This is my car.
it's mine. I spend it. It's not.
Right.
uh, right. And you know what's so funny, man? When people would pull up on me and I would be in that car because it was a 93 and we are in like 2000 and I think like 2007,
Hmm.
something like that. And I had this 93 in 2007. I got this car. Man, let me tell you something. Every time people would pull up on me, they'd be like, "So clean." They'd be like, that car is so clean. You know what I told them? I said, anything belong to me, no matter what style,
Mm.
no matter what cut, no matter what it is going to always be clean.
Yep.
Because I believe if you take care of what God gives you, He'll grow you.
Mm.
And I know it to be true because after that 93, right,
Hmm.
I went to um 2007 or 8 Chevy Impala,
Okay.
white. But after that, in 2010, I went to a 2009 Toyota Camry. And then after that, I went to Nissan Maximas, two of them. Had
Mhm.
a 2010, paid it down some, then got me a 2014 brand new off the floor
Oh yeah, you did right. Yeah, you did right.
0.0
You did what I did.
0.08 miles on it. You
You
see, I
did what I
remember these stories. I remember these stories because I share them because I want people to understand that you keep looking for major blessings when God gives you blessings and increases. And the
Mhm.
question you have to ask yourself is, have you taken care of those blessings? Because if you
Wow.
haven't taken care of those blessings, then you got to stop crying about God sending you more blessings. And
Yeah.
the truth is, every last car that I ever had, owned, and possessed, took care of.
Oh yeah, most
I,
definitely.
I, and I took care of it not because I'm just a man who loved cars.
Mhm.
I took care of it because I felt like it was a blessing. And not only
And
did I take care of it, watch
mhm.
this, because let's go here, bro. Not only did I take care of it, everybody that I could bless with a ride, I gave a ride to. Why?
Mm.
Because I remember not having a car
And having to
and
take
people
having
giving me a ride
there you go. And you have to
every
take
time.
public transportation. Or you have to take public
I had
transportation
I had
to
to take
get to
public
where you
transit,
need to go.
and every time I got a chance, it would be people at church. You could see them like standing around. I'm like, y'all good? You need a ride? And they'd be hesitant. I'm like, nah, come on, get in.
Yeah.
Oh, but we live. I don't care where you live. I
I
got you.
don't care.
Let's go.
Don't worry about it. Yep. Don't worry about it.
Because at the core, like this is why I tell people, you gotta watch people habits, man. Because people be afraid to take leaps and bounds with people because they've had people mess over them. There are some people at the core, that's who they are. Their generosity, that's who they are. And you got to pay attention to that because that's something that will never change in that person.
Yes. And that is a major key. And so and I'm glad you said something about, like you say, taking care of, right. 'Cause we have some of it when it comes to cars, purchases and stuff like that. My first car was my great grandfather, God rest his soul. He bought my first car. It was a '96 Toyota Camry. Oh man,
Come on,
I,
Camry's on the
I
board
was, I
tonight.
was, I was, I was
If this
loving
was a
this.
draft, we taking Camrys
We
tonight.
take a Camry off the first pick. I was loving it. Oh my god! And then it was because, like you say, you're driving around everybody else's car, so you're just like more not say reckless, but you're just more like, oh, it ain't mine, so I can just drive it, use all the gas and speed and forth. But when that's my car, it was, hey, you make sure my car is washed. I got smell goods. I got the scents in the car. We
Yes, sir.
vacuumed out everything
Yes,
good.
sir.
Then you say, oh, hey, you need a ride? I got you. I got you. I'm gonna take you home. I'll take you where you need to go. Make sure you straight. Um, it was, and to my recent car now, and it was just like I made sure, like you said, I'm so thankful for the little things. And I always tell people, if you can learn how to just be appreciative and master the little stuff, everything else will take care. You'll be able to handle the big things when they come. You'll be able to be more appreciative when the big, like you said, the bigger blessings come to you because you're able to appreciate the smaller things. And so I correlate this to my season we had this year, and it
Yes, sir.
was we had really good team, man. We were really good, and for 5 years we was like right there on the cusp. Like for 4 years before that, we was right there on the cusp. Oh man, we was right there. And it was this year we finally got over the hump, and it was every bit of emotion that happened that day. And like you say, I felt the highs and lows throughout the 2 hours in a 2 hour span in a game. It was we're feeling good. Then my player got injured. He broke a bone in his leg in the game, and they had to pause the game, get him on the ambulance. And then, we're getting ready to win. We're getting that countdown. And you know this because, you experienced this with your team this year for football. That countdown, he's like, yo, we're really about to win this championship. And so when we won the game and we won a championship and we all, the coaching staff and the players who've been with us for the 5 years, we kept saying 5 years. It took us 5 years to get here.
Mm.
And you can see the joy and the relief and joy in these kids that they finally got this accomplishment, and they didn't take it lightly. I said, y'all earned every right to do this. Enjoy it, because not too many people get here. And so I had to learn to just enjoy the moment, enjoy everything now, because it won't. You might not be able to get this back. It
Yeah.
was off,
Yeah.
man. So I with you, man. You have to enjoy the little. You have to appreciate the little things, and I feel
Definitely.
like too with. I keep going back to social media. How social media how people portray themselves on social media. How we do it is we portray the big things on social media. So we want it for the clicks and the likes and the reposting and all this. But sometimes you have to sit there and just, let me just get off of social media and really appreciate me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let me just say, hey, let me just get off of social media for a while, and let me just appreciate who God created me to be in this. Like, yo, you're really a good dude. And that was me. That's been me for the last few months. So when I say I'm in a better space, man, I'm
In a
there,
better
man.
space. Well, man, I appreciate it. This has been a great conversation tonight. I want you to leave them with just one last encouraging word, and then we're gonna get out of here.
Oh man. First of all, you thank you, Dwayne, for this opportunity, man. Thank you
And tell
for
them they can find you too, for
okay.
sure.
Thank you for everybody who's watching or who will watch. And I want to encourage you again that you matter. You may
Mm.
feel like you're in a space where you're questioning life, you're questioning who you are as a man or a woman or a young man or young woman. But I'm here to encourage you that you matter. You have a gift, you have a purpose here on this earth. And I want to challenge you and encourage you to just really take the time to just learn who you are and love who you are. You're
Yeah.
called to be something and do something great in this life. And please do not waste that opportunity. You have it right now in front of you. Take full advantage of this life that you have, and make sure that you do things the right way, and make sure that you, as we say as our name in our program is, that you push for greatness.
Yeah. Man, we appreciate you. Where can they find you?
Instagram, I am dot mentor TJ. My nonprofit is push number 4 greatness INC. And if anybody has never needed photography services, it is HTA photography.
Cool. Well, we want to thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Authentically You. This is my brother, my friend. So grateful to have him. We will catch you next time here on the Authentically You podcast, and we hope to see you soon. If you just joined us, go back and catch the replay and have a superb night.